These are the top 10 things that your realtor wants you to know, but they may not have told you yet, or they may be too scared to tell you. Number one, in this market, you have to be flexible when it comes to buying and selling your home, especially if you're on the buying end of the market. This is very much a seller's market. And so as a buyer, you don't have the edge, the sellers do. And so if you're looking to buy in this market, you have to be a bit more flexible in probably your price range, in the location that you're looking to buy in the house that you're looking to buy, and also in the terms that you're offering on the contract. For example, one thing that I'm commonly seeing as I'm selling houses in my market here in Utah is that a lot of sellers are looking for sometimes a 30 or even a 60-day leaseback. Whereas the buyer, you're gonna be allowing the sellers to live in the home even after you've purchased it. And sometimes you can negotiate for the sellers to pay for that lease back, but oftentimes in this market, they're wanting a complimentary lease back, or basically they're wanting a no charge lease back, meaning they can live in it for 2 weeks or 30 days, sometimes, like I said, even 60 days for free. And as the buyer, while that can be a tough pill to swallow, that's sometimes just something you have to do in order to win the offer on the house. And if it's your dream home, or if it's just a house that you really want to buy, offering those terms that the sellers really want is gonna give you that edge and help you to win the home. So be flexible with your offer, be flexible with your timeframes, and be flexible with as many things as you can, because that's gonna give you the best chance of getting a home. Number two, you're not the only client for the realtor or the real estate agent that you're working with. If you have a good real estate agent, they have a lot of clients that they're working with, constantly trying to sell their homes and buy their homes. So don't expect to be the one and only person that your real estate agent is working with, meaning they're not gonna spend 24/7 with you on the phone and showing you houses, because they have other clients that they're working with. And honestly, that's a good thing, because you want an agent that's experienced and has a lot of clients that they're working with, because that shows that they produce at a high level and actually know what they're doing. And a good agent doesn't have to spend 24/7 with you to help you find the right home or to help you sell your home, because they're gonna be very proficient with what they're doing, and they're gonna be very efficient with their time, and they're gonna help you and give you that high level of service that you deserve. But also, just don't expect that they're gonna be out from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and on the weekends showing you houses. They have a family and some other people to work with as well. And number three, realize that most good agents are available pretty much 24/7, but also understand that that's not entirely true, because sometimes we have to sleep. And I have gotten calls sometimes from clients at 11 o'clock. And while sometimes I have been able to take those calls, don't be upset if sometimes we're sleeping when you call us. Understand that sometimes we have to rest, and if it's late at night or super early in the morning, we may be with our family or doing something else, but we will always get back to you as quickly as possible. Texts are great, emails are great, voicemails are great, so make sure to use all the methods at your disposal. Number four, if you're buying a home, it's not a good idea to try and go see 20 homes at once. And there's a couple reasons why. Number one, honestly, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of your time, and it's a waste of your agent's time, and honestly, it's way too much gas that you're spending and way too much money that you're spending on all the gas going to all those different houses. It's just one big waste of time and money spent on gas all the way around. Now hold up, you may be thinking,
wait, Devin, I need to see all the houses in order to find the right one, right?
well, actually, no, you don't. And that's because we have great websites where you can see some really high quality images of all of the homes in the market. And so really use the internet and use websites like Zillow or the agent's website that he's sending you over to, so that you can find and filter through the houses that you're actually interested in. The best practice is to filter through all of the homes that meet your criteria within your area. So say you find 25 homes that are in your price range, in your location, and they have the right amount of bedrooms and square footage that you're looking for. It's not a good idea to go see those 25 homes because that's just too many homes to see, especially all at once. If it's spread out over a couple of weeks, that's one thing, but if you're trying to knock out 25 homes in a day or in a weekend, I've done something like that before with clients where I've shown them a bunch of homes all at once because that's what they wanted to do. And as the day progressed, you could see in their eyes that they were just getting exhausted, and also they really weren't sure, and all of the houses kind of get muddled together. And by the end of the day, as you're trying to talk about which ones were your favorites and trying to create a tier list of those houses, it can be really hard to remember the details and the discrepancies between all 20 houses. And it's much better to see just 4 or 5 or 6 at a time at max. So use the internet, look at the photos, and come up with a list of homes that you want to go see that you're actually interested in putting an offer in on that house, as long as it shows as well in person as it does in the photos. Number 5, unless you have an unlimited budget, you're not not gonna find a perfect home. Seriously, unless you just have all the money in the world, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices, and you're probably not gonna get every little aspect and every detail of everything that you want in your home. And if you're buying a $500,000 home, don't expect it to have a $2 million home level of finish and quality. Those are totally different price ranges, so you have to really take that into account as you're looking. And I say this because I've worked with a lot of clients that have a certain budget, and we've looked at many houses and they just don't find anything that they like. Well, it's because when you have a budget ceiling, your preferences and your idea of what you want in a home may not quite line up with your budget. And sometimes that's really unfortunate. And so in that situation, you just gotta take a bit of a look at reality and say, hey, this is my price range, this is my budget. Do I want to buy a house and live with the things that I'm not super happy about? Or do I want to just keep renting and throwing that money into a landlord's pocket? Number 6, and this really applies to clients that have bought a house or sold a house in the past. If you have bought or sold in the past, the market is extremely different now than it was back then. You have to be much more aggressive if you're on the buy side than you did back in 2011 if that was the last time you bought a house. If you bought 10 years ago in 2011, 2012, you had the advantage because it was a buyer's market. But now it's a massive seller's market, and so you don't have the advantage in that buy-sell situation. And also remember that your agent has a lot of experience, especially if they're good and they've sold 20 to 50 to 100 or more homes in their career. So likely your agent knows a lot more than you do about this process. Even if you bought 2 or 3 or 4 homes, your agent has probably done at least 10 times more deals than you have over your lifetime. So actually take your agent's advice, especially if you got a really good agent that knows what they're doing. Your agent's ultimate goal is to get you into a home that you love and to make sure that you're within your budget and you get the best terms possible. And number 8, this is massive. I should have made this number 1 because this one is huge. Once you start the process of buying a home, do not, under any circumstance, apply for a new credit card, go buy a new car on credit, drain your bank account, change or quit your job unless you verify all of those things beforehand with your lender. And I would just say it's best not to do them anyway, even if your lender does approve it, because you never know what can happen. There's a ton of stories where a buyer is under contract to buy a house and then they go buy a new boat from Cabela's on loan, or they go quit their job or change their job or start a new business or apply for a new credit line. All of these things can really mess up your ability to buy that house, and applying for a new credit card at that department store because there's a massive sale can ultimately cost you the home. So don't go shopping, don't go buying new furniture on credit, don't do anything like that until you have the keys in your pocket and the loan is closed and funded. And number 9, don't give up on a house just because you don't like how it's decorated or you don't like the color palette or anything like that that can be changed. There are some things in homes that can never be changed. For example, its location isn't changing. You're not picking up that house and moving it somewhere else. Where you buy is where you live, and so you have to like the location where you're buying. But many things about the home can be changed. Even the layout, more or less, can be changed more so to your liking. And so especially if you're buying a house right now in this market, that's something you may have to sacrifice on in order to get a house. You may have to buy a house that isn't as updated, doesn't have the carpet color that you like, maybe it's all painted bright pink or something crazy like that. But those are all things that you can change, and ultimately if you're doing renovations on the property, you're gonna be building equity in that property a lot faster because you're gonna be making it nicer than it was when you bought it. So be aware that a lot of things you can change about the house, you can make it your own, and there's also that added benefit of forced appreciation by doing so. And number 10, always ask all of your questions to your realtor so that way you understand the process of buying and selling a home. Your agent's job is to make you comfortable with this process, and so ask questions if you don't understand something. As agents, we want you to feel comfortable, we want you to understand, and if we've explained something to you but it's not quite sinking in, ask us to explain something again, because obviously we didn't do a good job in the first place. And bonus number 11, if you have a real estate agent and they're doing a great job for you, they're showing you houses or they're working to sell your house, do not bail on them after they put in all of that work and go use a different agent. That just really shows a lack of character and a lack of loyalty. And that's one of the worst things that agents deal with, is people that just aren't loyal, especially after we put in so much work for you. If we've been putting in hours and hours to help you find the right house, we've sat down with you, we've showed you houses, or we're working to sell your house, do not just go use another agent because someone in your family recently got your license. Be loyal to the agent that's working for you. You would expect the same, so do the same for that agent. And bonus number 12, actually, because I'm just feeling it right now, do not ask your agent for a part of their commission. If you're $1,000 or so off with closing costs or something like that, and your agent offers a portion of their commission, that's one thing. But never ever ask your agent to give you a portion of their commission to help you buy that house. Whether you're buying or selling, never ask for it. Because think about it this way. Say you're working at your job and your boss puts you in charge of a new project with a new client. And then you perform extremely well for that client, you get them exactly what they want in their time frame, and to provide a high level of service. How would you feel if after you completed that project or you're almost done with that project, your boss comes to you and says, hey, by the way, I'm gonna need some of your paycheck that you earned from working with that client. That's basically the situation you're putting agents in when you ask for their commission. You're the boss because you're the one who hired your agent. So if you don't want your boss reaching into your pocket, taking your money, don't try reaching into your agent's pocket to take their money. I know sometimes it can seem like real estate agent commissions are really high, but also understand that as self-employed people, 1099 employees, we have a lot more in taxes that we have to pay. We have to pay a lot in broker splits and team splits. And there's a lot of other fees to market properties, MLS dues, different fees for lock boxes, and so many fees that we have to pay for, like CRMs and lead generation, that all of that money that you're seeing as a commission is not actually going into your agent's pocket. If your agent is taking a 3% commission, say $10,000, likely 60% or so is going towards team splits, marketing, and other fees that they're having to pay. And they're only getting $3,000 or $4,000 that they're putting in their pocket. So don't try to take that money because that's what they're using to feed their family. So that was a bit of a rant for sure, but those are the top 10 things, top 12 things really, that you need to know that your agent wants you to know when you start working with them and looking to buy or sell a home.